I'm not. You know, his English is getting better. I have to.
안녕하세요 여러분, Dktv의 누구겠습니까? 다니엘 킴입니다. 자, 다시 한번 따뜻한 더니든에서 여러분들 인사드립니다. 자, 오늘은 말이죠, 핏 워커 투스 코치를 다시 한번 만나보고, 지금 현재 토론토 블루제이스의 스타팅 로테이션, 선발 로테이션이 어떻게 준비가 되고 있고, 또 류현진 선수는 또 준비를 어떻게 하고 있는지 직접 한번 만나보고 이야기를 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 여러분들, 정규 시즌이 점점 가까워지고 있는 거 느껴지고 계시나요? 자, 핏 워커 투스 코치 한번 만나봐서 정규 시즌 준비 잘 되고 있는 건지 한번 직접 확인해 보도록 하겠습니다. 일단 안으로 들어가시죠. How's everything going so far? Only 2-3 weeks left in spring training.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. You know, we've won more than we lost, but we're not necessarily concerned about wins and losses at this point. We want our players to develop, to progress during spring training. So, you know, we're in a position to be at their best opening day, and I think we're building towards that. I think we've been relatively healthy, which is good, and I feel good about the way the team's coming together.
First couple of weeks of spring training is more of a, you know, festival-ish party.
Yeah.
But now it's second half is more of a decision making.
Yeah, sure.
For your staff. How's that going? Is some difficult choices that you need to make as well?
Yeah, there are, and I think, you know, early in camp you want to get guys comfortable. You want to make them as comfortable as possible, as quickly as possible. But when you get to the middle of camp, all of a sudden you want to start seeing results, and as you get towards the end of camp, you got to make difficult decisions. So the players understand. I think they realize the guys that are competing for spots, competing to be in the Major League bullpen or the Major League rotation, understand that, you know, there does come a time when you got to get outs and you got to make pitches and you got to have quality innings. But you know, so far it's been really productive and competitive. And I think the guys really are putting themselves in a good position to either make the team, or, you know, if they don't, they're going to be up with us soon after.
I guess the more difficult the decisions are, that means players are performing well, right?
Yeah. Obviously, we have quite a few guys that you know, are competing for spots, and they do, you know, that's a good thing. You know, we haven't really had anybody fall out of favor or fall out of the running. So I think they're doing what we've expected, and I think up to their expectations as well, the players. So there'll be some tough decisions towards the end, but there's still a lot of time. We still have quite a few games left, and usually it plays itself out.
Okay. As for Hyunjin,
yeah,
a couple of starts, one sim game.
Yep.
How's everything going?
He looks tremendous. As advertised, you know, his command of pitches is probably you know, almost regular season ready. So he's getting close. I know he has a couple more outings, and you know, but he feels really good right now. His changeup has been exceptional. His command of his fastball has been really good. His cut fastball, and he adds and subtracts with his curveball. He knows how to pitch, and I think it's great for our young guys to see. The way he goes about his business, the way he controls bat speed, and his work ethic is tremendous as well.
I'm sure you've seen a ton of videos of him before the spring training. Now that you've seen it in person, any difference?
Yeah, it is. It's different, and no matter how much video you watch or seeing him from a distance, it's always nice to get these guys up close, and then you have a better understanding of how they work, the grips that they use, how they manipulate the baseball. And I think you know, Hyunjin does a great job of that. And I think our young guys like watching him pitch. They love watching him pitch in the games, and they like talking to him too, to pick his brain, to see, you know, what he thinks and how he approaches hitters.
He didn't throw that many sliders last year.
No.
Is that something that he would be doing? I heard somewhere that he's kind of working on the slider.
We try to do a little bit of backdoor sliders, get that in there.
Wait, he's working on a backdoor slider?
Yeah, hasn't really used it much. The cutter he uses, obviously. The bigger, I think he has a way that he can manipulate the baseball, so he can make something bigger or smaller, and it's impressive to see. But right now we're sticking with his normal game, and at some point, you know, who knows?
One last question.
Yeah.
Any unique Korean words that you picked up?
I'm not. You know, his English is getting better. I have to. You know what? His English is getting better and better. So he's making it easy for me. He seems to understand a lot of what I'm saying, which is great. You know, he has a great interpreter too. but I do have to learn more Korean.
Finna jump. Top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me spark the idea.
형님. 형님. That's like Big Papi in Spanish. 형님. Yeah. 형님. 자, 여러분들 이 선수가 누군지 다들 알고 계시죠? 네, 토론토 블루제이스의 슈퍼 루키는 아니고 이제 소포머죠. 자, 2년차 시즌을 앞두고 있는 고 비셋 선수를 만나봤는데요. 자, 여러분들 일단 먼저 인터뷰부터 확인해 보시죠.
It's not.
I heard it was your birthday yesterday. What'd you do?
Yeah, no, I just hung out with a couple of my friends, a couple of teammates, and we just chilled and hung out.
Okay. I guess your dad was a professional ball player. You're a professional ball player now. So, and your birthday is in March. So my guess is that you spend most of your birthdays at spring training, right?
I spent some.
Okay.
He retired when I was pretty young, so I spent a little bit of time in spring training, but not as much as people think I did.
Okay. Spring training is about basically a midway right now. I see that you're hitting the ball pretty well right now, going the other way, line drive. How do you feel right now?
I feel pretty good. You know, it's early still. We still got a lot more at-bats to go, but I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident, and hopefully I can continue to build up to the season.
Okay. The expectation on this team is very like, some experts are saying 77 wins. Some are saying that you guys can get really hot in the early part of the season. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely think we got a chance to win a lot of games, so we're going to go out there and play harder than the other team every day and you know, see what we can accomplish.
Okay. I mean, you're one of the top core players with the organization. Do you feel a lot of pressure?
No, not at all. I think that the goals that I have for myself are a lot higher than what, you know, people think of me. So for me, if I have any pressure, it's pressure bestowed upon myself. But even then, I wouldn't say I have pressure on myself. I just go out there and I work as hard as I can and try and perform as best I can.
Tell us about your leg kick. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. You pick moments or like during the course of the at-bat. How do you decide and what goes through your mind?
Yeah, 90% of the time it's just basic. If there's one strike or no strikes, I leg kick, and if there's two strikes, I don't. But there are times where it varies. I mean, if I'm feeling really good against a pitcher, I'll leg kick with two strikes. If I'm not, then maybe I won't leg kick with no strikes. So, I mean, it just varies in how I feel, but the majority of the time it's just a two-strike approach.
I noticed that during games you talk to your teammates quite a bit. I guess you talk about the pitcher that's on the mound. Is that something that's been part of your game? And I also noticed that you communicate with Latin teammates in Spanish as well. Is that something that you've always done?
Yeah, you know, my family, my mom was born in Brazil, so I have a little bit of a background on kind of a Latin culture and stuff like that. So I think that's why it's so easy for me to get along with them. But for me, it's just about creating conversation, creating a relationship with all your teammates. You know, no matter how deep it gets, as long as you at least know who they are and know a little bit about them. So, you know, for me, I'm just trying to get to know my teammates better.
Have you picked up any Korean words to communicate? Because you're playing shortstop. You're playing right behind Hyunjin, right?
Yeah.
And he produces a lot of ground balls. You got to be able to communicate with him time to time, right?
Yeah.
Any Korean words yet?
I have been taught some Korean words.
Okay.
I can't think of them right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to definitely circle back with Hyunjin and figure out what are the words he wants to hear when we're out on the field and how I can motivate him and get him back on track. But
Okay.
yeah.
I'll teach you one keyword. 형님.
Hyunjin.
형님. That means big bro.
Okay.
So if you walk up to Hyunjin and say 형님, it's gonna buy you and pay you for a dinner or
형님.
형님.
Hyunjin.
형님. That's like
형님.
Big Papi in Spanish.
Hyunjin.
Yeah.
Hyunjin. I'm gonna say that the first thing I see him. Hyunjin.
형님.
All right.
Your pronunciation is pretty good.
형님.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Take care.
man.
Take care. 자, 고 미첼 선수와의 인터뷰는 잘 마쳤습니다.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you very much.